Yo, thanks for everybody that's tuning in right now. But before we get into the interview, disclaimer, we don't have nothing to do with nothing that came before with whoever we interviewing after you see this video. You get what I'm saying? This is purely journalism. You get what I'm saying? We know how the streets is. Y'all try to, oh, you was with this person, that person. Don't check yourself out your spot and think you want to press the issue on us because you got an issue with somebody that we interviewing and we don't got nothing to do with that. Don't check yourself out your spot and do that. You know what I'm saying? Dudes be real good at starting the war. Don't start the war.
At all. And we understand things happen. We understand this, we understand that. Yeah. But fortunately, we wasn't in that. You know, we just doing our thing to push out this narrative. And we gonna do that. And ain't nobody gonna stop us. But we gonna do it a certain way. And that comes with talking to the people. So again, we don't have nothing.
And condolences to any of the families that
all the way
may be affected by somebody that we interviewing or whatever the case be. Condolences, love. But this is why we do what we do. We doing this to put the narrative out there, have the conversation. A lot of stuff that we're going to be doing that y'all may see in this conversation going to be a lot of accountability. I ain't holding nothing back from niggas. I ain't holding nothing back from niggas. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, don't start the war. Yeah. Just appreciate the content. If you don't like it, you don't got to comment. Nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just don't start the war. Don't act crazy. We just are doing us. Fuck the streets.
Fuck the streets.
A man who the Philadelphia district attorney calls a contract killer is facing new charges. Stephen Williams is now charged with 4 counts of murder, conspiracy, and weapons offenses. Authorities say he collected thousands of dollars as a killer for hire over the past 2 years. Williams is accused in ambush-style shootings of 4 victims in Francisville, Ronhurst, East Mount Airy, and West Oak Lane. Williams is now behind bars on unrelated charges.
You good over there, Fetty? All right. Alright, we in it, man. How you feeling, man? You good? You good? This is an important combo right here. This is an important combo, man. You know, I was excited, you know, to hear like when T.Y. reached out, made a connection and all that. You know what I'm saying? Cause this was something that, you know, my old lady at the crib, you know, we was watching American Confidential drawing, and she just, like a year ago, she just was like, babe, I want you to interview him. I want you to interview him. And I was like, you know, it could be something, but I just wasn't in that space with everything I was doing. So for it to just happen organically like this, I was like, you know, that's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like for it to get word that you wanted to do the interview about, especially about this topic, which is something that's needed. You feel me? Is needed for all over the trenches, all over America. You know what I'm saying? So we got my, you know, everybody know me, Meehan Street, you know, it's the mayor. You know what I'm saying? Got my brother. Cash.
Yeah, Power, Cash. We familiar with each other, bro. You already know. Just from
You already know, bro.
You know, hanging in there, bro. You know, one day at a time. You know, it's just life be lifing, but we pushing through. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And
that's all we can do.
I'm glad that we definitely sitting down and we having this interview / conversation, because like this is like the epitome and like the highlight of a lot of stuff that's going on out here, and I'm just glad that you agreed to be the person to put a lot of things on Front Street and shed light on a lot of things. So just before we get into anything, I appreciate you for that. You don't have to do that in your situation. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man. You know, for those that's watching, you know, we got, you know, you look them up, people, they done give them the name Philly Hitman, you know what I'm saying? Whiteboy, but Governor Stephen Williams, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because like I still remember like when the story was coming out, shit caught me by surprise. We ran around different circles in the streets, you know what I'm saying? We did different things and all of that, but us coming from like the same neighborhood, when we would see each other, you was always quiet, you know what I'm saying? Like bro was always quiet coming around, probably smoke his little weed, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So when the news came out and I'm seeing that, I'm like, hold up. It caught my attention from the rip, man. So I definitely want to hear from you. Like, let's get right into it. Like, before we get into the topics, the Philly Hitman. Let's talk about who Stephen Williams is. Like, what was your upbringing like, and what was any goals and dreams that you may have had growing up before even getting into the streets and being in the predicament that you in now?
Well, growing up, I guess you could kind of say I had like a unstable household, as many of us come from. My mom was on drugs most of my life. My dad was on drugs prior to having me, but been clean, since I was born and everything like that. So I grew up around a lot of dysfunction on the set. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I had a lot of support. I had my brother, I had my sister, my grandparents, my pop. You know what I mean? And it wasn't always bad, so I'm not going to sit there and make it seem like I had this tough upbringing and stuff like that. It wasn't the ideal situation, but I had a lot of support. And as y'all know, I'm from 69 for Oaklands.
100%.
And I had the corner crib, the corner house right next to the Chinese store. And everybody from the neighborhood sat on my steps. That was like the hangout. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to walk out your door every day and you want to go play ball, or you may be going to school and you got all this stuff right in front of your face. It's kind of hard not to gravitate towards that. So, you know what I'm saying? And what I can say is the choices I made wasn't, as you know, I'm sure you can understand, it wasn't, how can I say, it was kind of forced upon me. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, I was quiet, I was timid, I wasn't aggressive, I wasn't a fighter, I'm gonna sit there and play this role like I was a tough guy in the neighborhood. I was always on getting money. Growing up, I always wanted to go to the NBA, so you always catch me in different basketball leagues. And Simons playing ball all day, playing for all my high school teams, stuff like that. And my block was kind of known for selling weed, so that was really what I did to make ends meet. As I said, my dad was in the streets, but he wasn't a street person. And I need everybody to understand there's two different things. Being in the streets and being a street person is two different things. My dad was in the streets because he did what he had to do to support me and my family. But he wasn't a street person. He was a kind-hearted person. He took care of his family. He never hurt nobody, never shot nobody. So it's two different things, being a street person and being in the streets.
So all right, so here's what I'm gonna do, right? And I'm glad that like I said, I wanted to let you speak your truth and speak your piece and everything. That's understood. But I'm gonna take it back. So you say you came from a family where your mom was this and your dad was that, but your dad is a difference between a street person and a person that's from the streets, or how you put it, right? You explained your dad. You explained your dad as a kind-hearted individual. Who were the people? Because everybody, we come from, a certain part of the hood or wherever you're from. Whereas the people who working 9 to 5s and doing this and choosing to do that, and then there's the people in the streets. Who influenced Lil Steven? Like who influenced you, and why did they influence you? Like when y'all was all on the corner doing what y'all was doing, and you had the house on the corner, who was Steve influenced by and why?
To be quite honest with you, I was always influenced by the neighborhood drug dealers. I ain't gonna lie to you. The ones that was running around having money and doing what they wanted. I always wanted to have that same attention almost. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you could say the older dudes from my neighborhood that was doing well for themselves. I mean, which is not, you mean, what I should have been doing, but that's what would appeal to me. You mean, I wanted to be like them, so I took after that.
Right. And the reason I asked that before I ask my next question, because it kind of leads into, you know, everything that I'm gonna build up and say. Like, since you kind of like, you know, drew the story out, we asked you a question and you drew a story out, right? I want to ask you this. It could be a person, thing, a place, an event, whatever. What happened in your life where you like, all right, the streets as I know it is what I'm partaking in? Like what situation happened, or what people, it could be anything, because people don't talk about that in life. It could be a traumatizing one. It could be a one like you was looking up to certain people and that's just one of the, but I want to know like what happened in an event. You could have been young, a teenager. What happened that made that you want to pursue the streets as we know it?
That's a great question.
I appreciate it, bro.
Honestly, I'm gonna give you the honest truth, but not what I want to say, but what I actually feel is the answer to that. I feel like it was watching my mom on drugs. I honestly feel like that traumatizing upbringing, and that was like all I really knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like I didn't know a life outside of that. I watched my mom in track houses. I seen a lot of stuff growing up, and I feel like that kind of like unconsciously directed my path.
Okay. So.
Because I can't say I came from a bad upbringing where I didn't have a lot of support. I had a great support system. I had a great family. But those traumatizing events, you don't never forget them.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, alright, we know what you in jail for, right? And then, you already been sentenced?
Yeah, I'm sentenced. I got 40 to 80.
40 to 80, right? So we know that you've been labeled the Hitman of Philly, right? If you feel comfortable answering this, you know you can. If not, you know we move on to another question. But take us to like the mentality, right? When you went and you caught your first joint, like what was that mentality before, like going into it, after you did it, and did it change over time?
My first, I never was like I said, I was never a violent person. I never I didn't grow up like that. But my first homicide that I caught, it definitely changed me. I remember that night vividly, and it was an accidental homicide. It was one of them scary joints you shoot from a block away, and I got in the house, turned on the news, and found out somebody died, and I was scared. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was And it's like, once I took it out, I ran with it. But it wasn't the narrative of this fully Hitman. They picked the narrative of fully Hitman. Anybody could just contact me and say, I got this amount of money, I want this person dead. That's not how things work. That's not how the streets work. That's not how it happened. Everything I did was to people trying to do something to me. Did I get paid in the process? Yeah. I ain't gonna say a lot to you. Yes, I did. But who wouldn't? You got these young boys out here running around with me. I think somebody that's already trying to kill me and get paid for it. Why wouldn't I?
Alright. So when we think about the topic of violence and things resorting to violence, have you over time, you done had some time to sit down, think, and we all been to jail, and we know how reflective those times can be. What is some advice of conflict resolution, right? Because I always say to people that the first step to protection is prevention. Like, they always tell us as men, we gotta protect and provide. Like, we gotta protect and provide. But they never tell us how. So when we think about the first step to protecting and prevention, what is some advice that you could give to maybe a young guy that's running around, he doing his joints, or he got an issue with somebody right now and he thinking about, yo, I'm about to take it there with him. Next time I see him is on. What advice of conflict resolution, if any, that you can give to the streets right now?
Well, as far as that, what I'm gonna say is, I've been in jail going on 7 years, and I've been blessed to have, like I said, great support system. I don't really work for nothing, but I see so many times people mad, arguing on the phone. My homie can't send me $50. This, that, and third. My girl ain't come see me, and that's the result of the choices that you make. Once you put yourself in these situations, bro, it's just you. All that, my block, my gang, all that shit is out the window. The niggas ain't sending you no money. The niggas ain't taking this 3-hour trip to come see you. None of that. So that brings you for prevention is number one, bro. Number one. Your habitat is key. If you put yourself in situations that are around people that are going to cause you to make, I can say, aggressive decisions or a violent situation, you human. We mammals, bro. We taught to protect, bro. We taught to protect ourselves and our family. You want to do that. The only way to get around that is to take yourself out of these situations, bro. Out of these situations, because the world is so much bigger than Philly in that corner that you want, bro. I can't really tell it. You got a situation with this to turn the other cheek. No, because that gets you killed. But what I can say is, take yourself out of the equation totally. Your environment is everything, bro. If you take yourself out of these equations, it won't be no thought process of how can I do this or should I do this. No, take yourself up and complete.
Yo, I love that you said that, right? I love that you said that. I remember a couple months ago, I was up ASD with some of the youngins and all that, and we up there doing programming, talking to them, and they facing real joints. Like, bro, you just was on stable, you know what I'm saying, RCF, like, people facing some real joints, and they 18 and a half, you know what I'm saying? And I remember the young guy, he came up to me, he was like, yo, man, I feel everything that you just said, bro. But what do you say for, he said, let's say allegedly I killed 3 people. How do I go back to my neighborhood? And I told him, I looked in his face, I said, bro, you probably shouldn't. you probably saying, and this is a conversation I had with a lot of my friends that's still in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Still active, and they trying to figure out. I always encourage them to take that leap to just move, because you can't think in the environment where it's like, yo, at any moment I gotta up it. You get what I'm saying? But to that point, I want you to speak to the pride and ego that a lot of times that we have, right? And the issue of that, because again, you could tell somebody, yeah, move, but then they still got to deal with people saying, oh yeah, he's running, he's scared. How important is it to overcome the pride and ego when it comes to doing what's best for you, having a better quality of life? And if any advice, if any, that you can give on a person to deal with the pride and ego that we carry coming from inner city neighborhoods?
Pride is a daily trait to have, bro. It's a daily trait to have because you always feel like you got something to prove. And you always care what somebody's saying about you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's one of the biggest mistakes I had in my life was I had too much pride. I cared too much who said I was a bitch or who said they did this to me and I didn't do nothing back. But that one word, pride, will land you in jail for the rest of your life, bro. So you can't go in life thinking of a name. Because you got, bro, I'm in jail for essentially the rest of my life, bro. And what do I got to show for it? A name? That don't mean nothing, bro. That don't mean nothing, bro. What matters most is, bro, family, bro. And that's my biggest thing, bro. Whether you got kids or a mom, a sister, little nieces and nephews, bro. That's my biggest hurt, bro. I like the people that you think all we know is gang, drugs, all that, and when you're in these situations, they know where to be found. Only people that's there is family. And the people that really need you, you're not there no more, bro. That all because of that power.
It's crazy, man.
We need to.
Look.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, I was about to say, like, look.
No, he knows a little way, so I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah, you behind, okay.
That pride word, bro, it's daily, bro. That's all I can say. It's daily, bro.
It's crazy, like, I always say that, like, we be willing to die for our friends, go to jail for our friends, but not live for our family. We won't go to school, we won't chill, even like turn the other cheek before it even get violent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just telling, look.
Kanye said on that song, he said, my niggas will do 4 years in college, but they'll do 25 to life.
Crazy, right?
Just think about that.
For real.
When you're in a situation like this, you see who really matter or who really there, bro. I don't have no friends, bro. All them niggas I was running the streets with, them niggas is gone. Only people still here with me to this day is family, bro. Family, and the top of this conversation is that message that you put out.
Yeah, that was the next joint. That was the pivot. That was next. You want to go ahead, run.
I know you're gonna have a lot of pushback as far as people saying that's where we come from. And you can't forget the streets and this, that, and third. But at the same time, you give the streets all you got. You give your blood, sweat, your tears, your loyalty. What did the streets ever give you? What did the streets ever give you in return? Jail sentences,
going to facts.
It never was, that never was the goal, bro. We always wanted to be basketball players or whatever the case may be. We never grew up and said, I wanna be on that corner. I wanna kill this person or I wanna be El Chapo. Nobody grows up saying that, bro.
Facts.
You know, so I don't wanna be a hypocrite. I don't wanna be a hypocrite and say, I don't understand. I understand totally. You know,
100%.
I get it. But it never was, it always was fuck the streets, bro. From day one. We just do what we gotta do when we good.
100%. And I'm gonna say it before I swing. I'm gonna swing to you. I just wanted to add context to the fuck the streets movement being like, you know, people been saying, you know, stay away from street stuff like that, but like really like taking that turn in 2018. This is what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Made the song, made the movement. I had made shirts. I ain't really had the money at the time to drop it. But I think what people miss about the term fuck the streets is that it's not about the people. We understand the circumstance that make people get into the streets, right? But it's about the mentality. It's about the mentality and what everybody, we know that, right? That a lot of people, once you get in the streets, you want to get out. You know what I'm saying? Once you in it, you like, dang, how can I get out, right? And a lot of people don't know how to navigate that space. And what they miss is that people don't understand that in order to change your life, you have to become a new person. You can't be the same person that you was yesterday and think that you're going to embrace this new lifestyle tomorrow. So when we talk about the mentality, fuck the streets is a mentality. Fuck the streets like is, again, you may be going, you got some issues with some niggas, but it's like, man, I'm playing the long game. Let me go out South Carolina. Where I can breathe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Where my brain, and then, you know, if you're going, still stand on what you stand on, you can move strategically. I'm not advising it, but it's a quality of life. It's not a good quality of life as a man, as a grown-ass man, to not be able to take your mom to the market comfortably. As a grown-ass man, to not be able to go to the park with your kids and pick them up from school comfortably. But this is the mentality that the streets give us. We can't have that mentality of doing that comfortably when we in the streets. You get what I'm saying? So the mentality, fuck the streets is a mentality. It's a whole mentality. It's not the people. It's not the circumstance. It's a quality of life, a choice that we have to make to want to pursue a certain quality of life. Cash, you can go ahead.
And I'm gonna touch on that, like, before I even ask a question, like, when we do the whole fuck the street, because I ran into an unfortunate situation and I was on State Road for all this. But when you say fuck the streets and everybody, oh, the people in the street, my man was putting cheese on the books. My man came and picked me up from there. My man, everything that I needed in there was him. So there's no way he could be talking about the people. There's no way when he say fuck the streets, he could be, if he was talking about the people, we wouldn't even be interviewing you. We wouldn't even care about what you guys say. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that word mentality. I'm big on mental health, mental this, anything mentally, I'm big on it. I'm a use a drug addict, for example. If you talk to a drug addict when they're on drugs and you ask them about a bunch of mentality things and why they think like this and why they do, they're not going to be able to tell you all that. They're not even going to be thinking of all that. But once a drug addict kick the drugs and, oh yeah, I was like this, I was like that, man, this helped me, da-da-da-da-da, right? So I want to ask you to give some pointers to the people on the fuck the street shit still, on the same level, but what about the people? Tell the people how to say F the streets or change their mentality without getting a 40 to 80, or without burying their right hand, or without going through stuff where they on trial, and what advice do you got for a person to not be called the Philly Hitman and get 40 to 80 and things like that before they change their mentality? Like, what would you tell a person? You feel me?
I mean, I think it all comes back to that word that you said a couple minutes ago, pride. And you gotta understand that it's okay to walk away.
Right.
It's okay. In the moment, it might feel like a defeat. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might feel defeated. You might feel like you turned your back on people or whatever the case may be. But this game called life, bro, it's a journey, bro. It's a journey. It's a marathon, bro. It's not a race. It's about longevity. It's about being around for the people that need you. And I'm not gonna say that might be your homie that's in the streets. That might be anybody. It don't gotta be just family. But you know good to anybody with 40 to 80 cents. You know good to anybody 6 feet under the dirt. So it's like it all comes back to that word pride. You gotta know it's okay to walk away. It's okay to leave things alone. It's okay to feel in the moment of defeat. But in the grand scheme of things, you won it. You won it. All the people that I had issues with, and the people that's alive that I had issues with, they won. I lost. Everybody, what do I got to show for this? A name? That don't mean nothing. Niggas out there with their family, getting pussy, taking their kids to school. I lost because I was focused on the here and now, not the marathon. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to walk away.
The word that comes to mind for me is foresight. Foresight and perspective. For those watching that may not understand what foresight is just the ability, it's big picture thinking, right? It's looking at things from different perspectives and not being one track minded, that the streets put us into a lot of times. And you know, I always like to make the distinction that there's a difference, right? We know through media, you know, influencing our neighborhood, we can point fingers at the government, we can talk slavery, we can talk all of these things that created the circumstance of what we know as the streets, right? But the thing is, right, there's not a lot of emphasis on being a man. When you talk to people, they say, man, I'm a real nigga, I'm a street nigga, I'm a real one, whatever. But I think a big distinction has to be in being a man, right? Because as a man, I got a family at home. See, a lot of people, they hear F the streets and they attach masculinity to violence. You get what I'm saying?
As a man, we talk two things that you stated before: protect and provide.
1,000%.
And that word you just said, foresight, that's a great word, bro. That's what none of us have. People like me, that's what we don't have. We thinking the here and now. You know what I mean? To be a man, to protect and to provide. You know how less of a man I feel being here, bro? Not being able to protect the people I love, not being able to put food on my family table. I'm essentially dead. I'm essentially dead, bro. And that's all because that word again, pride, bro. That's the biggest word that I took from this whole conversation, bro. Pride. You know what I mean? Everybody think you a bitch. If you don't attack, if somebody do something to you and you don't get back, but foresight, you always gonna lose.
this conversation a little touchy for me. I ain't gonna lie, because you know, you got some people who ain't been through it at all, some people who ain't been through it in a long time, and it's like, it's a little touchy for me because I'm not just one of these blog people or one of these people who just see things and
and just to touch on what you're saying right there, what the people may not know is, like you just said, I met you in the streets, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people might think y'all just talking from a screen. Y'all ain't never been in there. I met these two dudes in the streets, bro. We had two different paths, but I met these dudes in the streets, bro. So they not just talking from other people's perspective. These two dudes that been through everything I've been through. It might not have been to that magnitude, but they been through everything I've been through. So they just had the foresight to see the end game. It's all about the end game, bro.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this conversation too, like just to stay on that foresight, is to offer that to people that's still in the streets. And that's why I go so hard like I do, because my hope is if you picking up what I'm putting down, you can gain the foresight that I had gained to be able to make my 180 and say, man, fuck that. I gotta think bigger. I gotta think outside of me. I gotta live for my family that's not even here. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is like, a person may not have kids. I remember my last time getting locked up. My son's mom was 6.5 months pregnant, and I'm looking at 11.5 to 23 months. I was Cumberland County, got locked up with weed, lean, all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to sit there and say like, dang, no, I gotta make a decision. Cause at that moment in jail, I was like, yo, I'm ready to go to jail, cause they questioned me about some drugs on campus cause they seen my card. So when I looked at him and I said nothing and I kept my mouth shut, I remember when I was in my cell one day, I was like, yo, I'm really ready to go to jail for something that I didn't do. And I don't know my dad growing up. I don't know my dad. So it's like, I was really ready and put myself in a position to miss out on my son's life because I'm holding on to the streets.
I think us as a culture, we do things for our first name and not our last. If that makes sense to you.
No, 1,000%.
It's not about, it's about the legacy you leave and the people that's going to carry on after you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's so sad to say, the legacy I left was terrible. Before I did this interview, I had a family member that told me that make sure you don't bring me up. And that's sad. That's sad. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is not nothing cool. This is not to be labeled as a killer, or that's not, you don't get no kudos for that. You get kudos for leaving your daughter and your son college tuition money. You get kudos for moving your family out the hood. That's the goal. It never was the goal to be sitting in jail or to be putting people under the ground. That's not the goal. That's not thorough.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, I understand protection by all means. I understand. I'm not trying to talk down on nobody. Just protecting themselves and protecting the people they love. I get it. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But it's okay to walk away, bro. It's okay. It don't make you less of a man. It don't make you none of that.
It's this thing going on, right? And I want to touch on this because I don't even want Manny to be the one who touch on it, because he kind of the one that's like going through it a little bit. So I want to, it's this thing right now where it's like a bunch of street people, in quotation, you know, taking the fuck the streets thing and being like, how's it fuck the streets and how's it this when this? If you say fuck the streets, that means you wasn't in them and this, that, and the third. I just seen somebody comment on her John and said, You say.
Listen, I'm gonna make an example. Somebody just mentioned to me the other day. I think Cooley did an interview on a podcast, whatever he got going on. And I guess he was bashing the fuck the streets movement.
Yeah.
Right.
When Cooley was running around getting his money, he wasn't on Main Street. Where was he at?
Stuck in acting. No, but that's, bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's the type of stuff, that's the type of shit that gotta be said. Is it done?
I think so, because he said it was 45
Listen,
minutes,
that's the type of shit that gotta be said. Now we just about to do our own shit.
Yeah.
We about to do our own shit now. What I was about to get into is this, bro. It's this thing where motherfuckers is saying that the fuck the streets thing, like when you talk about the fuck the streets thing, people keep making it seem like we are taking a culture or a group of people and we saying fuck y'all. Like, I would be talking about my fucking self if I did that. Fuck, like, bro, I don't even know when he got on probation, but it wasn't that long ago. Y'all making it seem like, cause now I gotta get in my bag because y'all was talking crazy to my man. I'm back. That's flat out. You feel me? We got motherfuckers who we got a motherfucker that's doing a 40 to 8. Don't take it from us. If we a problem, don't take it from us. Cool. We got somebody that's doing a 40 to 80. That damn near the most talked about. If y'all want to talk, not glorifying, but if y'all want to talk about the things that make people cool to y'all and all that, far as Philly, he's the top, and he's saying these things. It's not allegedly. He just on that, and he telling y'all what it is. That shit is a sick mentality. We're sick as a people. For a motherfucker to say fuck the streets and give y'all facts and behind it, give y'all all type of, not saying F y'all, if y'all making it seem like 21st is such and such. Everybody who just on that corner, that's the streets. Man, just like fuck them, like, oh, that's not what it is. And then you got other people who saying, yeah, the rappers saying that because we saying fuck the mentality y'all got. That's what we saying. We saying fuck dying for this block we don't even own or none of our ancestors own and the people before that and all died for it, and we saying fuck that. We're not saying fuck everybody on State Road and all the SCIs. We're not saying that. Because we will be talking about we're a culture, we're together. You feel me? It's just people with this mentality and it's people with that mentality. And we're saying, yo, fuck the people with that. Not even the people, just that. Just the mindset. It ain't even people. It's just the mindset, because this is what's throwing everybody life, our kids' life, our kids' life, our granddads, and life down the fucking drain. You feel what I'm saying? If y'all ain't gonna take it from us, the people that's in the flesh, that's free. I've only been free for 3 days, but the people that's free, all right, take it from somebody who's doing a 40 to 80. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't get what can be the mishap in people's brain to when people say, a person say fuck the streets. It's a problem.
I'm gonna add this too, right? Like,
I don't get it, bro.
Even to like saying, let's touch on fuck the streets as it relates to the people. When you get on the fuck the streets mentality, at some point you do gotta be on that with the people, right? Because we know the streets tell us staying the same is real. You gotta go to the same places, be around the same people, doing the same things. Soon as you not around niggas no more, you switched up and niggas want to act crazy towards you. Right. So at that point, you gotta be like, yeah, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Cause if a motherfucker got an issue with you making a decision to better your life, you gotta say F him.
Right.
You gotta say F him. And as a man, if they want to take it there and make it an issue, stand on what you gotta stand on for the betterment of your life.
Right.
I would much rather somebody go through it for a cause.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, this nigga got an issue with me because I'm not coming around spending time with my family. I got a job and all that. Man, you saying I switched up and I'm nutty and then you trying to press the issue on me? Alright, whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, it's a mentality thing. When you have that mentality, it do boil you down to the people. Cause everybody that's saying something about me saying F the streets is fuck y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Why I'm not about to sit there and be like, oh man, yeah, we do come from it. Like, no.
Right.
We come from it, yeah, but no.
Right.
The streets, yeah, I learned stuff from the streets. I got money in the streets, but the streets ain't make Manny 215 mayor.
Right.
Me saying F the streets and really embracing that mindset, really embracing that lifestyle, really embracing fatherhood, really embracing being a man, taking care of a household, trying to be a better son, a better brother, a better friend, being valuable, being a valuable person, being a person that people can call, yo, like, I need help with this, yo, can you help? Woo, woo. I had to embrace that lifestyle. So in order to do that, I had to say F the streets. And anybody that opposed me saying F the streets, fall in line with that. So this was a good interview, man.
Yeah, great interview.
Great interview.
Shout out to Steve, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like when he said it, like the way I met Steve and where and what type of time we was both on at the point to hear him talk how he talking now. Unfortunately, it gotta be after what he went through and everything. But growth is beautiful, and it's like I really wanted him to just as a collective to just talk about, because we kind of was asking him stuff and he kind of, but I was about to just say it like, bro, just flat out, you hear it from the streets, just talk about, like, I wanted him to really tell y'all, like, for real, what is like the mentality when your mindset clean, when your mindset is clean and you hear that, go, talk about it. That's the whole, we not getting into the back and forth about it because we standing on it. Like, we're unapologetic. It's not a debate. Feel what I'm saying? It's not a debate like they saying this and they saying that and it's who right. No. Because we already know what we on. Feel what I'm saying?
And at the end of the day, it's like the people that think like us is on the type time that we on. The people that think like they in the streets is on the type time that they on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it's like, it's different levels, it's different claws, different condiments in the world.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That you gotta partake in. You just gotta choose. Forget what my homies think, what everybody think. What do I want out of my life? Mm-hmm. And when you get that answer, you gotta be real with yourself on what does it take to get there. You don't know what it takes to get there, but you know what you want. Ask somebody that's in that position. Free game. You ain't gotta go to college all the time. Mm-hmm. You wanna learn real estate? Go to the boy that's doing real estate and ask him some questions. He might got a little course. You say, get your little money in the streets and pay the course. Pay for the mentorship. We know how it's going on out this joint. Mm-hmm. But you gotta make the decision for yourself. And a lot of times in the street, people's decisions be based off what everybody else think. Mm-hmm. What my homie gonna think. What they gonna think if I don't do this. Even when we talked about like pride and walking away. Hey, Sun Tzu said the best. The best win, the one without bloodshed. Mm-hmm. That's a different condiment.
Yeah.
When you can win a war without bloodshed, that's a different condiment. But the streets say, I don't care if it's smoke. Even when we talk about the first step to protection is prevention.
Mm-hmm.
That means whenever there's smoke, you need to be throwing water on it before it become a forest fire. But the streets say, I'm wrapped out. I don't care if it's smoke. Then it's a forest fire that everybody like, yeah, no. The choice is yours. You can choose a better quality of life, or you can continue to go down the path. And this free game as well for anybody that's trying to get out the streets. You have to change the people, the places, and the things in your life.
Daily.
Every day. You have to change the people that you are around. You have to change the places that you go. You have to change the things that you do. That's the only way that your life go from A to B to C to D, E, F, G. You cannot keep thinking that you're going to go to the block every day and just end up in Calabasas. At some point, you got to go to the airport. At some point, you got to leave the people that don't got their money for the ticket. At some point, you got to do something different. The day before, you got to pack your bags and all that. You wasn't doing that 3 weeks ago. You have to do something different. The things you do have to change in order to change your predicament. This is life. This is real life right here that we giving you. And a lot of people need to learn it.
Wow. Listen. We not content creating, we creating content. Is a difference. Real rap. That's what we doing, bro. We not just making content, something for them to watch. Let's pop real quick. Let's make money. No, like I really feel like we the last ones left, but that's another conversation. Great interview. You know what I'm saying? If you feel it's stuff, because I know he one of the most spoke about people, and he had a big. If you feel like it's things we didn't ask him that y'all want us to ask him, because that's a friend. That's not a person we can run it back. If you feel as though, if you also feel as though y'all want us to like make this a thing where he could keep, because he intelligent and he really know how to talk, and he not a person who just acting too
not an arrogant.
He not an arrogant. He understands. So great interview. Shout out to that man, bro. I wish him the best on his journey. It looked like he in real good spirits, even though he's going through a situation. But that's what happened when your mentality is clean, bro. That's what happened, bro. So yeah, bro.
Make sure y'all look out, man, for the pod. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Patreon. We getting that cooked up, inshallah, very soon.
Very soon.
I'm gonna try and do my best to stop talking on the gram and just wait for the Instagram. But sometimes just get in my bag. But inshallah, man. Thank you to everybody that be supporting us. It's the man.
Yo, and all y'all who gonna take this, American Confident. We support y'all. We love you. Everybody, if y'all wanna, talk about this interview, and even if it's stuff y'all feel as though we hit us up, we can make, we really with that. My man said stuff be missed opportunities and all that. We ain't missing no opportunities.
Facts.
So hit us up.
Man. Whoever gonna work, just hit us, man.